Charlie, you ready? Morning has come. Hold on one second. Right there's one. Ready? Yep. All right. Go for it.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to VUU. My name is Sheila. My pronouns are she, her, ella, and asan. Good morning, everyone. And I am going to be your worship associate this morning. If you came in earlier, we had some beautiful music playing from Ryan Marvell. And we actually have a concert on Saturday, May 9th. He served as our pianist from 1998 to 2005. And he's going to share his compositions and the stories behind them and offer fresh arrangements of familiar tunes. Relax, unwind, and join us for an evening of shared heartbeats in song. Tickets are going to be $20 at the door, and you can find more at the website ryanmarvell.com. So let's take a moment to fully arrive and welcome one another in this space. Say hello to each other real quick. Thank you. If there are any visitors with us today and you're willing to say hello, can you please stand or give us a wave so we can welcome you? Yay! We are happy that you are here. Our community is rooted in love, inclusion, and justice, and we're excited to share this space with you. To help us stay connected, please sign in using the QR code on the screen, and after the service, feel free to grab a snack, and some tea or coffee and join our welcome circle over to the left under the side windows there. And the welcome circle will be facilitated by Doug Nitzel. Thank you, Doug. He's our new member coordinator. In the welcome circle, you can meet members, ask questions, and learn more about our congregation. Now let's say hello to our online viewers. We can't see them, but they can see us, so let's give them a wave and welcome them. Today and throughout the week, pastoral care will be provided by Amanda Lee in the sanctuary, Amanda, and Carl Anderson online. If you need a listening ear or some support to help take you through the day, you can contact the Lay Pastoral Care Group by email at pastoralcare@vuu.org. And now for Caring Neighbors. Caring Neighbors works to foster a loving and caring community to which VUU and members nurture, support, and assist each other through life's joys and trials. They help with things like meals, social gatherings, and occasional rides. They can be reached at caringneighbors@vuu.org. So today's service is Living into Dying. Recently, 13 of our congregation participated in a program called Death Literacy. The program aimed to normalize conversations about death and help people plan for the end of life, something many of us find hard to talk about. Today, we will hear from 3 participants who completed the program. I'm fairly new to being a worship associate, and when I learned that Amanda Schneider wasn't able to support this service, I jumped at the opportunity because this is something I want to talk about. I come from 2 different cultures that view death in very different ways. On my Mexican side, deceased loved ones are celebrated during Dia de los Muertos, or the Day of the Dead. And growing up, I remember seeing photos at my paternal great-grandmother's house of a deceased family member in an open casket surrounded by family. But on my Navajo side, my mother's side, we avoid speaking about death, as we believe we are calling it to ourselves or our family. And when someone dies, we don't say their name for 4 days to allow their spirit to move on peacefully. I've experienced people dying around me at a very young age. The first loss I remember was in 3rd grade when a fellow classmate I liked to sit next to on the bus passed away from an accidental shooting. Around the same time, we lost my paternal grandfather, who had been ill for some time, and he wanted to die at home. I was there when he passed. I don't remember anyone ever talking to me about what happened. Then when I was in high school, I witnessed my paternal grandfather's final moments. And in 1995, we lost both of my grandmothers and my partner's grandmother within months of each other, all before I had turned 23. Since then, I've had many family members pass, so I have experienced loss, and some are very, very painful to even think about. In this past year, and part of last year, and part of this year, I helped care for my partner during his cancer treatment for lymphoma. We had to talk about his end-of-life wishes, which was hard because he's also Navajo, and he didn't want to talk about it. But he finally gave in, and we had the talk. And then he ended up asking me those same questions. Like, would you want to be kept alive on life support, and for how long? And would you like to be buried or cremated? Thankfully, the last treatment he received worked, and he is now in remission. These life experiences have shaped how I think about death and the anxiety that I carry with me. It also taught me how precious our time is here, and how important it is to have a plan. So I have my end-of-life wishes documented in my will, so my children won't have to be burdened with making decisions. My dad often talks to me about the arrangements he's made for him and my mom, but I ask him to write them down because it's hard for me to hear. I can't imagine my world without them. I'm grateful our congregation makes space for these challenging topics. And I've learned that we can work with Reverend Sarah to document our end-of-life wishes, and that brings me great comfort. And we would like to thank Claudette Wassel, Melissa Bush, and Janice Miller for all the care and love that they put into this program. It will be offered again next year, and I really hope to participate. Now we'll light the chalice. We kindle this flame, symbol of our faith, for the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of love which calls us to work for justice.
Did you notice how that lit right when we said fire? That was pretty awesome. Hi, I'm Marcy Bowden, she, her pronouns. I was part of the death literacy class, and I have a little poem that AI helped me write as our our opening for today. It's called A Map for the Road I Must Travel Alone. A key to the doors and the things that I own. Oops, did I just go off? I'm clearing the brush, I'm leveling the way to soften the weight of that difficult day. A legacy built not of silver or gold, but comfort provided as stories unfold. By tending to details, the spirit is free to leave space for others to just remember. It's a quiet devotion, a labor of grace, to organize matters and steady the pace, so loved ones can find in the midst of the grief a path through the chores and a moment's relief.
We would love for you to stand if you're willing and able. Join us for our opening hymn. It's number 108, and it is My Life Flows On, an endless song. It's an old Quaker hymn, otherwise known as How Can I Keep From Singing as well. The choir is going to lead you so you can hear the harmonies under your singing.
I am Molly McNamara, she, her pronouns. And back in January, I had the chance to stand here and talk about our whole lives, better known as OWL. And while I'm sure that was completely unforgettable, you know it word for word, I was gently encouraged to explain it again. So in one sentence, OWL is a comprehensive lifespan sexuality education program. It's co-created by the Unitarian Universalist Association and the United Church of Christ. It's been around for 25 years, and it fits in perfectly with today's service since we're talking lifespan. Now, when I say lifespan, we mean it. OWL starts in kindergarten and continues through adulthood. Each level is designed to meet people where they're at, which is helpful because if you think about it, kindergartners, ninth graders, 60-year-olds, we're not asking the same questions at all. So why does VUU do this? Because honest, accurate information helps people make thoughtful decisions, build healthy relationships, and feel more at home in who they are. During facilitator training, we use an excerpt of an Elizabeth Canfield speech that stuck with me. I've adapted it significantly a bit for this morning. Imagine if we taught kids how to swim the same way we teach about bodies and relationships. We'd say, swimming, it's so important. Someday you'll need it as an adult. We never show them the pool. We keep the doors closed. And they might hear splashing, they might catch a glimpse of people going in and out, and they might find a book somewhere. But one day we open the doors and say, okay, go ahead. Now, they might figure it out, but a lot would be doing some very energetic version of not swimming, which, to be clear, is just sinking with enthusiasm. OWL is VUU's way of not doing that. Instead of silence, VUU offers honest conversations. Instead of guessing, we offer real information. And instead of awkwardness, okay, I'll be honest, there's still a little awkwardness, but we face it together and usually with humor. I've been part of VUU for over 20 years, and OWL is one of the programs that brought me here. This year, I've had the privilege of serving as both the OWL coordinator and co-facilitating our 8th to 9th grade class with Chris Saar. So I'm gonna go ahead and hand the microphone off to Chris, and I would like to invite the youth who are graduating, if you would come forward on this side where the ramp is, and for any kids that are here this morning, if you would come up front and join us here during the graduation part, that would be great. So OWL graduates, come this way. Everyone else who's a kid or a kid at heart that wants to come and sit up front, come on up. I'll pass that off to you.
Fantastic.
All right.
All right, and I want to welcome this year's class. We have covered a lot of topics this year. This is a long class. The 8th, 9th grade class is our longest class. It's a commitment of 26 weeks and 27 weeks because we add a section. So actually, these kids have been with us. We've gotten to know each other pretty well. We figured out what sports people are good at or enjoy watching. We figured out what music people like, music people like to perform. There's several performers in our group. We've talked about issues of respect and respect for ourselves as well as for others. We've talked about creating statements of, what do we call the bottom line statements for what we want for our sexual health, for our relationship health. And these kids have come up with these for themselves, which is a great thing for them to be embarking on early in their life before they're in these kind of relationships. What's one of the exercises we do at the start of every class is something I think all of us in here could probably take a lesson from. Especially when you're a youth and everything in your world is changing, and your bodies are changing, and your friendships are changing, and you're discovering your own individual voice, life might seem a little turbulent for an adolescent. But all of us in this world with our political and economic situation might be feeling that turbulence. And so we ask a question at the start of every class. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? What in your life has gotten better this past week? It's a great way for us to start our conversation. And the kids share thoughtful things and sometimes silly things, and sometimes they pass, and that's okay. And these are all lessons that they've learned and that we're thrilled to have shared with them. And so at the end of all of this learning, we now get to have a wonderful celebration and a graduation, give them certificates, and this is something all of you get to look forward to in the future. And Molly, what's the next class in the fall? 5th and 6th graders will start in the fall. So if you have 5th and 6th graders in your family or in your neighborhood or in your circle and you would like to invite them, we welcome people who are part of our congregation and those outside as well. And so now I'm going to call everyone's names, and we've got some gifts. So if you'll come up when I call your name. Alex. Oh, not here. So that's okay. There were also, we learned about people's travels, and sometimes people travel and aren't with us. So, Aiden. Jasmine. Jonah. Oh. Kellen. Landon. Lincoln. Loki? Loki's not here. Nico. Turner. This never happens to you, right?
Typically they go by last name.
Okay. Will. And I guess we're going to sing all of the kids out, but I have got candles for everybody.
And as they're getting ready, feel free to give another round of applause to these OWL graduates.
Join us on this one. It's pretty familiar. We're going to teach these children, but they're going to teach us too. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, yeah.
Don't you ever ask them why, if they told
I've heard that song a few times. I've never really saw the words to it. It's really deep. Thank you. We're going to move into our centering now and just ask us all to take a deep, deep breath. We're going to move into our centering music, and we invite you to participate in the rituals that we have available located on the east wall of our sanctuary. You might choose to light a candle while holding a joy or concern that you have in your heart. You may wish to write a joy and concern in our book, or to add water to our fountain, representing the living waters of our congregation, or to place a stone in the sand.
Check.
Remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for the memory. I'm so tired, I can't sleep. Standing on the edge of something much too deep. It's funny how we feel so much, but we cannot say a word, though we are screaming inside. Oh, can't be heard. I will remember you. Down, down, down. Will you remember me? Down, down, down. Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for the memory. Down, 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 down. Doobie down, 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 down. I'm so afraid to love you, but I'm more afraid to lose. Clinging to a past that doesn't let me choose. But once there was a darkness deep and endless night. You gave me everything you had. Oh, you gave me light. I will remember you. Down, down, down. Will you remember me? Down, down, down. Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for the memory. I will remember you. Down, down, down. Will you remember me? Down, down, down. Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for the memory. Weep not for the memories.
Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Bob Del Carlo. I think I could talk better without the microphone. Before I start, though, I want to give a shout out to the 3 fantastic facilitators that we had for our death literacy class. Janice, Melissa, and Claudette. Well, I'm going to share some experiences that I had with death and dying issues. And one thing about death and dying is that our culture just isn't comfortable talking about the subject. It's just the thought of death and dying is repulsive, and it's not talked about. People tend to push it away. During the long struggle my wife Sandy endured with cancer, we never talked about the possibility of death. Despite the dire diagnosis that she had, we never talked about how she wanted to be remembered. Funeral plans, that she wanted to be cremated, buried. Celebration of life planning. What did she want done in the celebration of life? Or financial considerations. We didn't have these conversations that would have given us closure, that would have comforted both of us in this stressful time. When I tried to bring up the subject, Sandy would change the topic. She just didn't want to talk about it. And that was kind of hard on me because I couldn't prepare myself for the eventual passing of my wife. Fortunately, she had a peaceful death. My wife had been totally unresponsive for the last several days before her passing. My wife had been totally unresponsive for the last several days before her passing, as my sister and I sat with her. An elderly neighbor came to the house to see Sandy, and she was overwhelmed, just couldn't handle it at all. And so I helped her out the door. And as I went out the door, I heard my sister say, "Bob, come quick, Sandy has tears in her eyes." I rushed back into her bedside, and Sandy, whose eyes had been closed for the last several days, looked at me and gave me a loving gaze and looked at my sister lovingly, and then turned her head to the side facing the window. And this is what really was incredible for me, and it helped me get through the grief journey. As she looked out the window that last time, the expression on her face was one of absolute wonderment and awe. It was like she was looking into the vastness of the universe. There was no fear or there was no fear in her gaze. It was like she was ready for a new beginning, a new rebirth. This had a profound effect on me. I had been raised a Catholic. Although I no longer practice Catholicism, I still had the dread of death and punishment deep down within me. But when I saw the beautiful look on her face as she passed, I literally felt euphoric. Sandy's last gift to me was to reassure me that death was something to look forward to when time comes. I soon realized that the grief of loss was perhaps even a greater problem for me. And now I was faced with trying to guess how she wanted her body to be disposed of, how she wanted to be remembered, what kind of a celebration of life would I be giving, which I led. The theme for the ceremony was that death is not an ending, but a continuation of life. a rebirth. Since Sandy loved Star Trek and was fascinated by the vastness of the universe, I used an excerpt from the Star Trek movie Wrath of Khan. Do you all remember that movie? And of course, the part where Spock dies and is jettisoned down to the planet Genesis, a planet of rebirth. Getting through my grief journey, I did a lot of journaling. I wrote a lot about Sandy and myself, our life together, and that really helped me getting that out on paper and just reading it. I called numerous friends who were special in our lives and shared memories with them about Sandy. I was involved in a bereavement group, which was very helpful for me because everybody could share their pain together. I revisited special places like Shenandoah National Park, where we met and worked as park rangers together. One of my great peaceful experiences or healing was when I climbed our favorite mountains in the park, Old Rag and Stony Man, as a tribute to her. I would like to end with a comforting perspective on death that her hospice worker shared with me, and I've kept it ever since. It's an anonymous author, and it's called Gone From My Sight. And I'll quote, "I am standing upon the seashore. A ship at my side spreads her white sails to the morning breeze and starts for the blue ocean. I stand and watch her until at length she hangs like a speck of white cloud just where the sea and sky come together to mingle with each other. Then someone at my side says, 'There, she is gone.' Gone where? Gone from my sight, that's all. She is just as large in mast and hull and spar as she was when she left my side, and she is just as able to bear her load of living freight to her destined port. Her diminished size is in me, not in her. And just at the moment when someone at my side says, 'There, she is gone,' there are other eyes watching her coming and other voices ready to take up the glad shout, 'Here she comes.'" Thank you.
I'm Nancy Wittenberg, and my pronouns are she, her. There's a conversation most of us avoid, not because we don't care, but precisely because we do. During this class, we were given a eulogy writing guide in case it was of interest. I bet you weren't expecting me to say that. Analyzing how I want to be remembered became a segue to thinking about my relationships with my family and friends and how they evolved over the years. If I were to die in the foreseeable future, what would I want the people in my life to say about me? Not in a morbid way, more like if I had the gift of a little warning, what would I need to tell them? I started thinking about writing letters. Who would I want to write to? What message is important that they should know? Do I currently tell those I love them that I love them enough? Since this is harder than I anticipated, I decided to practice with all of you. But first, a quick history. In 2004, I had no idea what Unitarian Universalism was and had never heard those two words before. One evening, I just needed a break from my 4-year-old, which isn't easy as a single mom, so I phoned a friend. Elena said she was going to a new member class, and I was welcome to come with her. The words free childcare was enough to get me in the car, and it's all history now. Okay, so this is my attempt at my first letter. This is to all the congregants at VUU from all the years I've been a member. Thank you. For the fated night that I needed a parenting break to 22 years later, I appreciate you. Working with kids in my son's age group every other Sunday from 2005 through about 2013 was very important to me. Thank you. As a community, you stayed by my side during my divorce, through some of the most challenging times as a single mother with a teenager. Special shout out to Marcy. No matter how long it's been since I was here last, there are always people here to give me a hug whenever I want one. You've always been there for me, even when I was annoyed at whatever was happening at the moment. I felt mostly welcomed in times when I had the opportunity to volunteer a lot. Let's be honest, you aren't always perfect. You've even elected me to the board, which shocked the heck out of me. There were other times when I needed to step back and didn't volunteer at all, and you gave me space. Thank you. Thank you for all you are, flaws and all. All right, so tell me, did that come across well enough? Thank you. Okay, on to a new letter. I'm going to take a break as I share a little bit with someone much harder. Let me explain a bit. In 2017, I told my older sister I needed to push her out of my life, that she was toxic for me to be around. And I haven't been in direct contact with her since. Here are some thoughts I would like to share with you about her, and that I would like to share with her one day. I truly loved our combined family vacations that we took, the Native American-themed RV trip to northern Arizona, the Mexican Riviera 7-day cruise, the Tombstone weekend, and more. How my son and I would come over every holiday, every kind of holiday, and lots of non-holidays for dinner at your house. You and your husband are a blast. I hold those special times in my heart with joy, appreciation, and a smile. Okay, now that sounded really nice, right? But now what? Do I want what could be my final words to also share the other side of the coin? Do I take the opportunity to throw a sucker punch at her negative qualities, which are the reasons I had to discontinue her from my life? I could, but I don't think I will. What would you share with your loved ones? In this class, we were talking about the value of taking care of unfinished business. I worked through a variety of unfinished business through grief counseling after my mother passed. The grief counselor explained that I'll be in a healthy place when I can forgive the ugly parts and remember the good. Now that my time is just about up, here, not like in person, I want to leave you with a thought that I hope will resonate. We all have an expiration date, and none of us know for sure when it will be. Don't wait until it's too late to tell those in your life that you need them to know so that your heart is without burdens. It'll make living and the inevitable unliving together better and lighter.
Good morning, VUU. My name is Roz Hawkins, pronoun she, her, and I'm really excited to be here today. The proverbial wisdom often tells us to avoid discussions involving religion or politics, but as UUs, those are talks we can welcome. At the same time, death is a subject that even some of us avoid. When I read that there was going to be a class offered to the congregation on death literacy, I was thrilled. Thrilled to talk about death, you say? For many, this sounds weird, and I am a little strange. But just as Bob described the frustration when his wife didn't want to discuss her impending demise, I have seen the consequences of that denial play out in my own life. I look forward to an open discussion, sharing experiences and learning the nuances of planning for the end of life. I don't want to leave questions to those who will have to execute my final wishes, but let my final gift be the roadmap to what I would prefer to happen with the financial resources already allotted. The class not only fulfilled, but exceeded my expectations. We established a network of trusted individuals on the same journey, each for their own reasons, and each of us took away what we needed to assist in grieving for loved ones while acquiring the tools to live into a good death. Topics included the reasons we avoid the conversations around end of life, how we manage the loss of loved ones, especially in unexpected situations, all of the aspects to consider in leaving a plan for your own loved ones, as well as who needs to be informed of your final wishes, planning for the unmentionable. The inevitable thought of loss is actually a gift that you leave to those who will be charged with the responsibility of implementing your final wishes rather than having to struggle with what you want. Marcy captured that sentiment in her poem that opened this service. To organize matters and steady the pace so loved ones can find, in the midst of the grief, a pain through the chores and a moment's relief. What a great gift to give. Bob shared those frustrations that his beloved wife would not discuss her final wishes, but the relief he felt watching her peacefully pass from life to death. While he found some joy watching her transition, the realization that now he had to plan her memorial without her input was daunting. He told us the grief of loss was a greater agony than dying. Think about that. What was her preference for a physical body? How did she want to be remembered? Planning with her input would have answered the questions and gave him a greater sense of relief. Her last expression was a gift in and of itself, but he took the class to leave his loved ones with a roadmap. That is, a plan that would allow for more closure to those he leaves behind. I signed up for the class for basically the same reason. I knew that I didn't want my children to argue over what to do when I'm gone. In 2003, I was single and living in Prescott, Arizona. I sat down one evening and wrote a letter to my children of my desire of what I wanted if I died. I had it notarized, and I sent each of them a copy. I told them that it was coming and explained to them that they could read it upon receipt or simply put it into a safe place and open it when I was gone. In the last 23 years, a great deal has changed in my life, and now I need to update those wishes. The average age of death for female members in my family is mid to late 70s. My mother was the oldest of 8 and passed at 74. Of her siblings, only 2 are left, a sister who is 88 and her youngest brother who is 81. I have had 2 great aunts who lived to over 90 and one who lived until 100. I don't know where I'm going to land on that spectrum, but at the tender age of 71, I want the plan in place now. It is my way to live in peace, knowing that I will die with a plan. Rather than imagining my children in disagreement over what I would want, I know that they will unite in executing my final wishes. In my original letter to them in 2003, I wanted to be cremated, but now I feel I would more like to be environmentally friendly. So I asked them, each of them, if they had any particular attachment to my ashes. As morbid as that may sound, they all told me they could live without them. They each shared what would be important to them in holding my memory. I was glad that we could have the conversation. Often, we don't have those conversations. The reason for that could be multifaceted. But as Nancy addressed, finding closure in our relationships is also important. If an in-person discussion is not possible, writing it down can become very important. Nancy wrote letters, a wonderful way to get your thoughts out, whether you decide to deliver the letter or not. Technology has also made it easier to leave a video message. Whatever method you may use, having closure for you and your loved ones is a part of the gift that we can give. While you may or may not choose to take a class on having a good death, living into dying is a process of planning. What would you do if you lived today as if it were your last? While we hope for more days ahead, may we live in peace, with a sense of peace, knowing your loved ones have what they need to celebrate our lives. May it be so.
Got to bring it down a little lower. I'm Randall Casillas. She and her, I also had the chance to be in this class. And a poem by Nancy Wood. A long time I have lived with you, and now we must be going separately to be together. Perhaps I shall be the wind, to blur your smooth waters, so that you do not see your face too much. Perhaps I shall be the star, to guide you your uncertain wings, so that you have direction in the night. Perhaps I shall be the fire, to separate your thoughts, so that you do not give up. Perhaps I shall be the rain, to open up the earth, so that your seed may fall. Perhaps I shall be the snow, to let your blossoms sleep, so that you may bloom in the spring. Perhaps I shall be the stream, to play a song on the rock, so that you are not alone. Perhaps I shall be the new mountain, so that you will always have a home.
Thank you, Bob, Nancy, and Roz, and Randall for the poem. Thank you so much for your shares today. As we do the offering this morning, this supports the funds that we get from the offering, supports the programs that we offer here at VUU. And today we've been reflecting on living into dying and how important it is to have spaces where we can speak honestly about it, plan for it, and support one another through it. Thank you for supporting this shared work.
We are living 'neath the great big dipper. We are washed by the very same rain. We are swimming in the stream together, some in power and some in pain. We can worship this ground we walk on, cherishing the beings that we live beside. Loving spirits will live forever. We're all swimming to the other side. I am alone and I am searching, hungering for answers in my time. I am balanced at the brink of wisdom. I'm impatient to receive a sign. I move forward with my senses open. Imperfection will be my crime. In humility, I will listen. We're all swimming to the other side. We are living 'neath the great big dipper. We are washed by the very same rain. We are swimming in the stream together, some in power and some in pain. We can worship this ground we walk on, cherishing the dreams that we live beside. Loving spirits will live forever. We're all swimming to the other side. On this journey through thoughts and feelings, binding intuition, my head, my heart, I am gathering the tools together. I'm preparing to do my part. All of those who have come before me, band together and be my guide. Loving lessons that I will follow. We're all swimming to the other side. We are living 'neath the great big dipper. We are washed by the very same rain. We are swimming in the stream together, some in power and some in pain. We can worship this ground we walk on, cherishing the beings that we live beside. Loving spirits will live forever. We're all swimming to the other side. When we get there, we'll discover all of these gifts we've been given to share have been with us since life's beginning, and we never noticed they were there. We can balance at the brink of wisdom, never recognizing that we've arrived. Loving spirits will live together. We're all swimming to the other side.
As we come to the end of our service, we are reminded that living and dying are not separate conversations. They are part of the same human experience. May we find ways to speak more honestly with those we love. May we hold both gratitude and grief with gentleness. And may we continue learning how to care for one another in all seasons of life. And in the back there's going to be a resource table regarding this topic that we covered today. Join us in the closing hymn.
Please stand if you're willing and able for All That Is Our Life, number 128.
We sing our thanks and praise, for all life is a gift that we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad.
join me in extinguishing the chalice. Though we extinguish the chalice, our connection to each other and this community remains. May its light guide us this week as we walk the path of justice, speak words of love, and fill our world with compassion until we meet again. And today we have traveling music, and we have a special performance of And When I Die by Blood, Sweat, and Tears. And we're excited to have a couple surprise guest musicians joining us for this. So please consider sticking around and dance.
All right, Mike, hit it. Yeehaw.
Then bundle up my coffin, 'cause it's cold way down there. Yeah, well, it's cold way down there. Yeah, it's crazy cold way down there. And when I die, when I'm gone, there'll be one child born, and this world will carry on, to carry on. My troubles are many, they're as deep as a well. I can swear there ain't no heaven, and I pray there ain't no hell. I can swear there ain't no heaven, and I pray there ain't no hell. But I'll never know by living, only by dying will tell. Yeah, my dying will tell. Here we go. Dying will tell. Child born, and this world will carry on, to carry on. Yeehaw! Woo! Give me my freedom for as long as I be. All I ask of living is to have no chains on me. No chains on me. All I ask of living is to have no chains on me. And all I ask for dying is to go naturally. Only wanna go naturally.
Hey, hey!
Here comes the devil.
Right behind.
Look out, children.
Here he comes.
Children, here he comes.
Hey, yeah.
Don't wanna go by the devil. Don't wanna go by demon. Don't wanna go by Satan. Don't wanna die uneasy. Just let me go naturally. And when I die, and when I'm dead, dead and gone, there'll be one and the world to carry on, to carry on.